And first out are Liverpool, the short price favourites for the League Championship. But today's 3 points just part of the issues at stake this afternoon. And here are Everton, out into this fiercely partisan atmosphere, a rivalry that even divides families here on Merseyside and creates a unique football occasion. Kevin Ratcliffe came through a rigorous test this morning on an ankle damaged in the cause of Wales in Valencia on Wednesday. So Howard Kendall is able to name an unchanged side, 6 players facing the special challenge of a derby match for the first time. Goalkeeper Neville Southall, defender Brian Burrows, Alan Irvine and Kevin Richardson in midfield, and the 2 strikers Adrian Heath and Graham Sharp. Craig Johnston is the only derby debutant in the Liverpool ranks, continuing to deputise for the injured Terry McDermott. Phil Neal, Graham Souness and Ian Rush have all put aside the minor ailments that this week kept them away from their international commitments. So too has Kenny Dalglish, who was a scorer for Scotland against Holland on Wednesday, but only played in the first half of that match. Everton then to kick off. They've been very much on the receiving end in these matches in recent seasons. Only 1 win in the last 20 First Division meetings between these 2 clubs for Everton, but they can point to knocking Liverpool out of the FA Cup here last season. And it looks as though Kenny Dalglish starting in a slightly withdrawn role, with Craig Johnston pushing further forward. And the referee for the 126th League derby between these 2 famous clubs is Ken Walmsley from Blackpool. Here's Dalglish. Breaks for Rush. Ross got a foot in, could only deflect it as far as Whelan. Whelan collects from Souness. Johnston climbing well. It was Billy Wright who got away with a miss-kick on the edge of his own area. Souness. Now Alan Kennedy. Deflected back to him off Irvine. The tackle was from McMahon. Steve McMahon, who eased his side out of an awkward situation. Everton trying to bring Alan Irvine into their play. Kennedy sticking tight to him. It's given to Irvine by Thompson, but again Kennedy stepped in. Richardson against Lee, free kick to Everton. Here's Ross. Sharp coming short. Forced even deeper. Now McMahon. Irvine faced by Dalglish, but he gets past him. By the knee of Thompson from McMahon again, who shot impressively from this sort of range against Manchester City last Saturday, and it needed Lawrenson to put it behind for the corner. McMahon didn't hit it cleanly, in fact, as he made progress past Thompson, but Lawrenson stuck out the leg. Irvine taking care about his approach to the ball for the corner. Grobbelaar making a safe catch. No one supporting Rush. In front of Heath. Miscue from Dalglish that Johnston collects. A tentative clearance from Ratcliffe. McMahon does well again to get past Souness. And looks for Irvine and finds him. Everton had Sharp and Heath in the middle. As Irvine takes on Kennedy again. But the defender does his job. At the cost of a corner. Again, Higgins has made his way forward, so too has Billy Wright. It's a poor corner from Irvine, emphatically cleared by Kennedy. Heath. Irvine. This is Sharp. Thompson well positioned. Ross looking to keep the pressure on. Down from Lawrenson and struck from right. Everton's first real shot in anger from Billy Wright, who did well in his efforts to keep it down, but it was still a yard too high. Souness, Neil slipping McMahon. Here's Dalglish. Well covered by Higgins, who was then held by Rush. It's Everton's throw off Kennedy. It's Whelan who was in crisply. Sharp and Heath had stolen a yard on Liverpool for a second then. Irvine playing it back in again. Grobbelaar is committed and fouled as he came between Heath and Sharp. He's at times been over-adventurous coming off his line this season, Bruce Grobbelaar. The referee judged that Sharp impeded him. Rush. And Lee is offside. Higgins taking too long over his clearance, and Rush blocked it. And Rush can take it up again. Dalglish with Whelan to his left. And Johnston against the bar. And Rush was perhaps confused by Johnston. It's Whelan who shoots, and it's in. From Whelan. It looked as though Everton had escaped, but it was but a temporary reprieve. Against the bar by Johnston. Then Rush had a shot at it. It came out as far as Whelan. It took a deflection, but it's Whelan's goal. He's proving to have a knack of scoring on important occasions. It's his 11th goal of the season. But Neville Southall was wrong-footed by the deflection in Whelan's shot. But here's Heath looking to strike back. Sharp. To help it on to Heath, and Everton have a corner. Now they would love to strike back quickly here. Grobbelaar through the pack, but not getting a solid contact. Sharp! And they have! Sharp in his first derby. Grobbelaar was indecisive with the punch. Came through Lawrenson and found Sharp, who made the most of the opportunity, and Liverpool's lead lasted only 3 minutes. Well, they've suffered so much at the hands of Liverpool, the Everton supporters, that they can celebrate their side drawing level. Sharp getting in front of Lawrenson, and the referee and linesman having a good look as Sharp and Lawrenson covered their balance in a tangle of arms and legs. free kick, pushing by Ratcliffe. And Souness alert to the possibilities, playing it short to Whelan. Johnston, just a little too tight for Liverpool. Irvin, brought down by Kennedy. And Alan Kennedy is going to be booked. Kennedy has been close to Irvin. Maybe a little unfortunate to be cautioned. Certainly most of the tackles have been crisp and fair by Kennedy on Irvin. But that one was clearly late. Sharp jumping with Lawrenson, and it falls here for Heath. Well, the understanding between Sharp, even when he doesn't get a clear header himself, and the way the ball drops for Heath is so promising for Everton. And Heath flashed the shot wide. Down for Richardson. Can't get past Lee. Everton, in fact, haven't been beaten at home in the First Division for 4 months now. Rush, and it's Whelan. And Neil! Might have looked an easier chance than in fact it was. Whelan stabbed it across the face of the goal, and Neil was looking to make sure, but could only drag it wide. All his previous goals in derby games have been from the penalty spot. Thompson beating Sharp on one occasion, but McMahon can collect, and now Richardson. Dogged by Lee. And Richardson finds a way through, and past Neil, and past Lawrenson. But the fall doesn't impress Mr. Walmsley. Maybe Kevin Richardson was running out of legs anyway, after a fiercely determined run. It lost Lee, and then Neil. The next obstacle was Lawrenson. No foul. Bruce Grobbelaar, I'm sure, will reflect on the punch that led to Everton's equaliser. Higgins. Sharp chases, but hasn't got his eye on the ball. Thompson certainly had. And Kennedy. Finds Rush, whose shot was instant. And so close for Liverpool. But Alan Kennedy, in splendid form at the moment, playing his part with a forceful run and an intelligent pass that Rush dealt with instantly, but put the shot wide. Whelan with the second header. Dalglish. But both Johnston and Whelan have taken up wider positions. Kendall, second from the left as we look. I'm sure we'll be pleased with the response from his young side in this first half, particularly coming from behind. And we're into stoppage time at the end of the first 45 minutes. Irvin. Losing McMahon. Turned into Lee. McMahon was trying to hold up Dalglish. But Liverpool with 5 men forward here. Couldn't find the pass. And Ratcliffe almost giving an anxious moment right at the last for Southall with a back pass. For the first half, but sprang to life when Ronnie Whelan put Liverpool in front, but Graham Sharp replying quickly for Everton, and plenty of chances in a game that is normally so tight. And at half-time at Goodison Park, it's Everton 1, Liverpool 1. Liverpool then attacking the goal to the left in the second half. And here's Phil Neal, who got forward to good effect for them on a couple of occasions. So often the fear of making mistakes, with so much local pride at stake, hampers the development of derby games, but the openings have come at both ends in the first half. Burrows with the header, and Souness! Always alert for the ball that breaks on the edge of the area, Graham Souness. Irvin. Kennedy had read his mind, but the back pass puts Liverpool in trouble. This is Heath, and Lawrenson has to repair the damage. It came initially from Alan Kennedy. Heath was alert to the possibilities. Sharp alone on the near post for Everton. Higgins coming to the centre of the goal, and right behind him. This is Richardson dinking it back. And Grobbelaar wasn't perhaps to know that time and space were on his side. Johnston. Richardson tussling, so too is Ratcliffe. And it breaks for Lee. And now Dalglish against Ross. Trying to jockey one of those positions that he's so good at. And Souness! Courtesy of Dalglish. Dalglish did all the spade work here. Everton just couldn't get a foot in, and it came for Souness. Southall was unsighted. Liverpool have regained the lead. We're 12 minutes into the second half. A goal with its roots in Scotland. Dalglish. Here's Heath. Sharp to his left, and Heath was forced to try the shot as Liverpool closed quickly in the presence of Lawrenson. Ratcliffe above Johnston. Here's Richardson. Now McMahon. In from Burrows. Dalglish with superb vision again. Rush tries to match it with Johnston. Well, what a thrilling goal it would have been. Instant assessment of the possibilities by Liverpool. From Dalglish, and then from Rush. And Craig Johnston, who'd not stopped running through the middle. One touch to control, the second shot under pressure. McMahon. Burrows. Good defending by Phil Neal. Dalglish. Now Whelan on for Rush. 3 men in the box for Liverpool. Here's Whelan. And there was an episode off the ball between Craig Johnston and Kevin Ratcliffe, which is a legacy of an incident earlier in the half. Ratcliffe just picks himself up. And Craig Johnston is booked. It happened off the ball after Ian Rush had found Whelan. Johnston lashed out at Ratcliffe after Johnston had been pushed to the ground by the Everton defender. It's another free kick Everton's way. Liverpool certainly not secure in their lead at the moment. Drops for Ross, who struck it well. It was arrowing towards that gap inside the far post until Grobbelaar brought off a spectacular catch. And Rush. Higgins is the defender. But the pass falls straight for Richardson, who lost it to Whelan. Lee. Johnston is onside, Dalglish is in the middle. Johnston drove it in high, when a low cross towards the near post, towards Dalglish, might have been the more telling ball. Sharp. Off Heath for McMahon. Ross was looking for Sharp and found him. Oh, what a shot and what a save! Graham Sharp, a shot out of nothing. It was entitled really to catch Grobbelaar out. He hit it so well, but how well Grobbelaar responded. Johnston laid off for Lee. His pass was aimed for Rush, collected off right by Whelan. Can Souness land another? It was blocked by Higgins. This is Neil. Lee. Everton have got their marking right. Irvin. As we move towards the last 15 minutes. McMahon looking to take on Kennedy. Lee reacting rather quicker than Ross, and Liverpool reacting in numbers with Whelan. And Johnston's offside. And the situation full of potential for Liverpool ends in an Everton free kick. On from Sharp, back for Sharp from Heath. Well, again, the two young strikers aware of each other's positioning. Ratcliffe and Johnston, we've seen a lot of each other in this game. Peter Eastoe, who's been so troubled by injuries this season, Johnston against Ratcliffe, who blocks the attempted cross. Neil. Whelan and Burrows. One sense is that Liverpool are quite happy to draw a breath or two. Use up some of the 10 minutes that remain. Everton have had more of the ball in this second half. Certainly Liverpool have provided quality when they've got forward, as they do here with Johnston, who salutes the moment that may well have decided the destiny of this match. Rush involved. Johnston had a swing at it, and it looped up over the despairing Southall. It's Everton 1, Liverpool 3. Craig Johnston, who's yet to complete a full 90 minutes in Liverpool's league side. It's the third game he started. He's been taken off in the 2 previous games. And a moment for him to relish here. It came off Thompson, but kindly for Grobbelaar. Sharp. Now Souness. Stretching Everton with the pass. But Rush can collect. But can only run out of play. Johnston. Here's Lee. And Kevin Ratcliffe will be cautioned for a foul on Craig Johnston. No love lost between the two. Johnston booked earlier. His part in a similar incident. It's been something of a running feud in the second half. Johnston is offside. Well, he's waited a long time, Craig Johnston, for the opportunity to establish his claims for regular first-team football. But it's forlorn for Everton now. Certainly the experience that Liverpool took into this match has, as it turns out, stood them in good stead. Craig Johnston gets the 3rd Liverpool goal, and Everton give a good account of themselves, and certainly their young players will be better for the experience, notably Graham Sharp, their scorer. So Liverpool have done the double. The scoreline here at Goodison Park, it's Everton 1, Liverpool 3.
tickets sold. The crowd limit, 52,000. The Merseyside derby, still the most vibrant occasion on the English football calendar. On a day designed to test the nerve of any player, Glenn Keeley, on loan to Everton from Blackburn, plays his first senior match of the season. He's been thrown in at the deep end before, though, making his league debut for Ipswich against Manchester United 10 years ago when he was 18 at just a few hours' notice. And he replaces Mark Higgins at number 4. The only other player not to have tasted this big occasion is number 11 Kevin Sheedy, signed from Liverpool in the summer. So too is number 8 David Johnson, who in the past has scored the winning goal in these fixtures for both Everton and Liverpool, while number 10 Andy King struck the only goal here in 1978, Everton's only victory in the last 21 league meetings between the clubs. Liverpool field the side which beat Helsinki on Tuesday. Craig Johnston continues at number 5 in place of Ronnie Whelan. Substitute David Hodgson is new to this atmosphere, but the most experienced campaigner is right-back Phil Neal, playing his 20th consecutive derby match since making his Liverpool debut here at Goodison in 1974. Phil Neal, in fact, was Bob Paisley's first signing when he took over as manager, and for the Liverpool boss, this is his last Goodison derby in charge. And another face in the crowd that Evertonians will recognise up in the stand underneath the cap, Harry Catterick, arguably the finest Everton manager certainly since the war. He won 2 championships here. Referee this afternoon is Derek Civil from Birmingham. And the Mersey sound rings out as Everton kick off, playing from right to left in the white shorts. Kevin Sheedy against his old club. Back to the captain, Billy Wright. And now Keeley. Proud moment for Billy Wright, who always wanted to lead an Everton side against Liverpool. Craig Johnston. Ian Rush. Dalglish. The runner is Johnston. Lee couldn't reach it. Sheedy could. Bill Thompson. David Johnson for Everton. Neil. That was Keeley, good header. Lee. King. Now Bailey. On by Sharp, David Johnson. Heath, blocked by Hansen. McMahon. Burrows. Heath appeals for handball against Souness. The referee said thigh. Hitting Lawrenson. A few shouts in the crowd there when Souness deflected the ball. Free kick against Mark Lawrenson. And Everton, who've been in such good scoring form recently, pushing Billy Wright forward and Glenn Keeley. McMahon takes. Header was by Wright. In their last 8 matches, Everton have scored at least twice each time. One of their best runs in recent years for scoring goals. And Howard Kendall determined to push on with that policy of getting players forward at every opportunity. King. Hansen in so fast. And leads the charge. Rush to his left. Onside. Ian Rush. 1-0 Liverpool, brilliant goal. Marvellously made by Alan Hansen. And put away by Ian Rush with the minimum fuss. Alan Hansen intercepting back in his own half, saw the chance to go forward. Superb play by the big defender. The ball laid into the path of Ian Rush, and as Southall came out, Rush put away his 9th goal of the season. 11 minutes gone. Everton 0, Liverpool 1. International class there in the finish and in the build-up. So Liverpool, who came to the match as First Division leaders, are away again. It's Rush once more from Lee's pass this time. And again Rush hit the woodwork. Everton unsettled, unsure, and very nearly 2 goals down. Difficult angle for him, but he was so unlucky with the way it came out. Liverpool are finding some space ominously for Everton in this half of the field. Here's Neil. Souness. Dalglish's dummy, Johnston's flick. Untidy clearance by Wright. Dalglish, fine save by Southall. Souness puts it back. But what a good save by the Welsh international. An awful clearance by Billy Wright, which sent the ball skying, showed Everton's uncertainty, and when it came down, Dalglish's header was instant, but no more so than Southall's save. 15 minutes gone, and so far it's Liverpool's match. Rush. King. McMahon. Johnston. Oh, given away by Phil Thompson. Sheedy. David Johnson's coming in far side. Cover from Hansen. Not often you see Phil Thompson give the ball away like that. But here's Rush from a mistake by Keeling. And Dalglish is to his right. And he's missed it. So untypical. But honestly, Liverpool could have had 4. When you think that Dalglish, who missed that one, has had a header well saved. Rush has scored one and also hit the frame of the goal. Everton's defence, a thing of little substance in the opening 20 minutes here. David Johnson, sharp with Thompson. Away by Lawrence to Dalglish. Billy Wright was in fast. Sharp. Sheedy. Lee. Dalglish. Bailey. Andy King running from deep. Spectacular stuff from Grobbelaar. As he saw King advancing. Bailey. Sharp. Not a bad turn at all. By Graham Sharp. There's Hansen. Craig Johnson is pulled away to the left wing. Alan Kennedy also on that side, on the ball now. And Dalglish is fairly offside. Offside, I think. The referee looks to the line and the flag was up. But has the referee given the go? It looks as though he has. Kenny Dalglish buried the header, but there was a flag up and John Bailey has gone racing across. So is the Everton coach Mick Heaton, and the other players are saying, why has the referee not taken heed of the flag? It was up, and here we have a true controversy. Over on the far side, Steve Mason with the yellow flag did have it up when the cross came in. What's the referee going to do? Free kick. And now Liverpool will go across. Kenny Dalglish, notably, to argue with referee Derek Sybil. And let's have one thing right. That flag was up before the cross came in, or as it came in, and the goal does not stand. Linesman Steve Mason called the referee's attention eventually, and Derek Sybil was big enough to change his mind, which on Derby Day is no easy thing to do. And Everton have had a let-off, to say the very least. The ground is humming now as the crowd debate that. Sheedy. Robillard has saved it from going for a corner. The game moves so fast that sometimes referees, in watching the play, need just a split second to check with the linesman, which Derek Sybil did again there. The pace of this Merseyside derby is always a problem for players as well as for officials. Dalglish, Lee. Liverpool have got 7 players forward. Dalglish in for Johnston. Scored twice in the derby match at Anfield last season. Kenny Dalglish, a game that we showed on Match of the Day. Liverpool won both matches 3-1 last year. Away by Neil. McMahon. Burrows and Johnston. Hansen. Oh, Keeley could get caught here. Douglas. Oh, he's pulled him back. And is that the goal-scoring opportunity denied? Does Keeley have to go off? Referee Derek Sybil in a quandary again here, really. What does he do with Keeley? He pulled Dalglish back when the Liverpool number 7 was clear, and on his debut for Everton, Glenn Keeley, on loan from Blackburn Rovers, is sent off for what is sometimes mistakenly called the professional foul. It was serious foul play, to be accurate, pulling Dalglish back, and Everton are down to 10 men, and the referee applies the law the way that his breed have been doing and have been asked to do this season. And Liverpool now have not just a 1-goal advantage, they have the advantage of an extra man. 32 minutes gone and sadness for Keeley. Lee drove it, Thompson with the header. And Lee again hit the bar, and the goalkeeper didn't know what was happening. It rebounded against him, and luckily for him, went out for a corner. But the flag was up for an earlier offside, so it wouldn't have mattered. Everton have had a player sent off in a Merseyside derby for the 2nd year running. It was Eamon O'Keefe last year for a foul, and this year it's Glenn Keeley for pulling back Dalglish when he was clean through. McMahon, nicely done. The cross might pick out Sharp. Oh, and what hesitation in there by Liverpool. Hansen and Kennedy, the guilty parties. King. And Sharp, no, Neil. What a match. Here's Lee. Offside rush. Well, there's a debate going on back there in the Liverpool penalty area. It was their first nasty moment, and Alan Kennedy and Hansen didn't quite seem to know what danger there was lurking when that cross came in, and the arguments go on between Kennedy and Robillard. Johnson. Elbows between him and Alan Kennedy. Johnson held on. Heath. Sharp goes in for a dangerous one, away by Neil. Still not really clear by Liverpool. King. Andy King. Once scored in 3 consecutive Merseyside derbies in his first spell with Everton. Dalglish. Lee. Lawrenson. Terrific stuff from Liverpool, and a very fine save by Neville Southall. Souness. King trying to close him down. He's found Kennedy. Square of him is Thompson if he needs him. He didn't. He found Dalglish. Brilliant run. Rush was nearly in again. Southall overworked for the moment, but responding well. Thompson. Lawrenson's header, and it was Lawrenson earlier who brought a fine save from the Everton goalkeeper, but the move that led up to that header was Liverpool at their very, very best. They just picked their moment to get the ball into the danger area, but the way players took defenders away to leave Lawrenson free was brilliant, and the reactions too of the goalkeeper deserve commendation. And the 127th Merseyside derby has produced a catalogue of incidents in the first half. Referee Derek Civil sending off Glenn Keely of Everton. Also checking with his linesman before disallowing a possible second Liverpool goal. Kenny Dalglish, the unlucky player there. Checking it out maybe even now with the officials. But Liverpool at half-time lead by 1-0. The scorer, Ian Rush, after 11 minutes. Everton unbeaten at Goodison Park this season before today. Start the second half with McMahon in the right-back position and Burrows alongside Billy Wright to compensate for the absence of the dismissed Glenn Keely. Playing Liverpool's bad enough when you've got 11 men, but with 10, there'll be some comeback. Everton can pull this one out of the fire. Here is McMahon. Heath. That's McMahon. King is closing in a bit. Indeed, Liverpool the only side to take 3 points here at Goodison against Everton since last November. Souness looking for Rush. They did so in the derby here last March. And Souness scored. Johnson. Souness for Liverpool. Down the line nicely by McMahon, looking for David Johnson, but Souness leading this Liverpool side by example, making sure they don't weaken at this stage. Here's Hansen. Rush. Deflection, has taken it in. Ian Rush will claim the goal, his second of the match, but it certainly came off a defender. Liverpool have gone 2-0 up from an apparently harmless position comparatively when he first picked up the ball. Seemed to me that the shot from Ian Rush might have come off Brian Burrows. So, 51 minutes gone, and Liverpool, who were deprived of a second goal so often it seemed in the first half, now get one early in the second. Lawrenson. Rush again. Dalglish! Somehow they kept it out. But Ian Rush is leading Everton a merry dance. Forward by Heath, but a careless one. Phil Thompson, quicker than sharp. Souness. Owen Dalglish on Sheedy. Here's McMahon. And Sammy Lee. What an appetite he's got for the game. Here's Johnston. Oh, that's all a bit nasty. John Bailey and Kenny Dalglish tangling. Dalglish appears to have got involved with a couple of Everton players in the opening minutes of this half. He was certainly guilty of a foul a minute or two ago, and also of getting involved there. Oh, he's got free, Dalglish. And put in by Lawrenson. What a simple goal. And Liverpool here have got Everton on the rack. Dalglish got free from the throw-in. That won't please Howard Kendall. The marker never went with him. He pulled the ball across the face of the goal, and Lawrenson came in at the far post to make it 3-0 after 55 minutes. Well, one's mind goes back to last season when Liverpool scored 3 in both matches against Everton. They've done it again here today. And it has been a very one-sided match. Lawrenson gets the third. Lawrenson, who's played with a composure and a comfort, which he climaxed with a good goal. Simple chance. Pressed into service here as an extra defender in view of the sending off. Has been not penalised, but he took the ball out in the opinion of the linesman. A corner to Liverpool. Played short to Kennedy. Lee back to Souness. In first time, Dalglish. Lawrence offside. Offside. Russia's put the ball in the net, but it won't count. There was a flag. There was a flag 2 or 3 seconds earlier when the little interchange took place involving Dalglish on this near side of the penalty area. Oh, a back header by Phil Neal, which almost let Sharp in. Johnston reacted angrily on McMahon. He put his hand in McMahon's face because McMahon has pushed him back. McMahon initially obstructed Johnston there. It was his first offence. Johnston retaliated angrily. There was a push in the face by both players. He was held back, Johnston, by the shirt. So he'll get the free kick. And the referee is elected not to punish either player further. Souness. Johnston just a little rattled for the moment. Here's Sharp. Offside, David Johnson. Kennedy. Dalglish has made his run again. Little flick on by him. Rush! My goodness me, Dalglish is such a tremendous player to have in your side. He makes things happen when there appears to be nothing in the wind at all. And Ian Rush was the player who so nearly capitalised. So, Liverpool, for once, having to defend, but not for long. Dalglish, and look at that ball. Ian Rush, and he's got three coming up in support here. Dalglish is one of them. Dalglish! A contender for man of the match. So the 52,000 plus capacity is reached. All the ticket holders appear to have come today. So Everton have got to try and keep their morale high if they can do no more. Sheedy. David Johnson. The shot came off for Thompson. Sammy Lee. And again Liverpool find their men apparently so effortlessly. Offside against Rush. But the passing is, I think, the major difference between these two teams this afternoon. Liverpool always seem to be so sure of where the ball is going next. And for some time, Everton have found it difficult to build up a move involving two or three of their own passes. They might achieve it, perhaps, from this position with 20 minutes left. A thread is what they need to just get their game together, and Liverpool won't let them have it. Dalglish, look at that, Rush is through. This could be history here for Ian Rush if he scores. He's at the post, he might score now, he has, and it's the first hat-trick in a Merseyside derby since 1935. In a league game anyway. 71 minutes, Rush has made it 4. He took Dalglish's pass, he hit the post the first time, he put the rebound in, and Bob Paisley, the manager, once told me, I remember last season, the last hat-trick in a league derby, scored by a fella called Freddie Howe for Liverpool in September 1935 when he got 4 in a 6-0 win. And David Johnson, so involved in derby matches in the past, is the player to be brought off. But it's Everton's pride that's been dented, and Liverpool who have provided most of the passion. Just over a quarter of an hour left when the substitution was made, but surely it's a lost cause. Liverpool are leading by 4 goals to 0. Liverpool are going to give Kenny Dalglish a rest. He's certainly done enough damage to deserve that. Gets a warm round of applause, and David Hodgson, a Tyneside by birth, who was signed from Middlesbrough, gets his first taste of the big Merseyside derby action. But what a match Kenny Dalglish has had, and now it's Sheedy. King who slipped, and this is where Liverpool have made the game look so easy. They've come out of defence, got into their stride, and seem to get an extra man through. It's Ian Rush, can he score his 4th? It looks as though he has, yes! 5-0. 4 for Rush, 5 for Liverpool, and an awful day for Everton. Sammy Lee led the charge from defence, the ball played through, and Rush, who's such a good finisher, went on to go round Southall and make this a day to remember for him in every sense. He'll surely get the match ball now. And listen to the crowd. Rush, who scored 30 goals last season, has made it 12 now so far this season. A natural goal scorer. Andy King looks for a consolation, but offside given. Rush is off again, but that's the last action. Ian Rush salutes the fans. superiority over Everton in the last 12 years seem to be condensed into one dramatic afternoon. 5 goals were scored, 4 by Rush. It could have been more. Liverpool were majestic. The Coppites rule. For Everton, I'm afraid there is only bitter disappointment. Their team was not just defeated, they were demoralised by a superb performance from the team that must still be surely the best in Europe.
Well, it was a year ago to the day that Liverpool crushed Everton 5-0 at Goodison Park, and Ian Rush scored 4 that day. He got 5 here last week against Luton, and of course that winner in Bilbao as well, a man in tremendous form. The referee also out on the pitch at the moment. That's George Courtney from County Durham, one of our best referees on the FIFA list. And one of the things you have to say also is that we talk about the atmosphere, but it's intense rivalry, but there's a good deal of friendliness about it as well. The incredible thing is that there are a whole batch of Evertonians on the Kop mingling with the Liverpudlians. Ron Atkinson, a man from Merseyside himself.
Brian, this is the first Merseyside derby I've ever witnessed, so I'm obviously going to look forward to it very much. They tell me, people that take part in it tell me that it's played at about 200 miles an hour, so I should be very interested to see if that's the sort of tempo the game's played at.
And Everton, of course, have had a bad time of late, and they are 6-1 outsiders. The players themselves were astonished that in a 2-horse race you could be as far outside as that. Liverpool 5-2 on favourites. But Everton say a good result here today will alter the whole complexion of their season. The last time they won here, Everton, at Anfield in a derby game was way back in 1970, and Howard Kendall, the Everton manager, was in the Everton side that day. Fancy Ian St John was in the Liverpool side as well. So it's Everton, proudly in their blue, will attack the goal to our right. Liverpool, of course, in that famous all-red strip. One of football's big occasions is underway. Trevor Steven playing the ball to Alan Harper. John Bailey, real scouser. Hansen getting it away. Bailey again. Steven once more. Now Sheedy. Made wide here for Alan Irvine, a young Scot. Hansen, Souness, Kennedy, and a first touch for Bruce Grobbelaar. Hit high again towards Rush. Higgins lost that for just a moment, nodded it across the goal there. Bailey, just missing Rush, getting it to Harper. Cooley then for Irvine. And one that he wanted sharp to chase, but there was really no chance for the Everton striker there. Alan Irvine, who used to play as an amateur for Queen's Park up in Glasgow. Now a throw for Everton. Andy King. Steven to Harper. Trying to get Sheedy away, but Hansen is shadowing him well. And a corner given to Everton. Well, Higgins goes forward. Robinson goes back. And the Blues of Everton putting a few into that Liverpool penalty area. It's going to be Alan Irvine with the corner for Everton. Hitting towards the near post. Grobbelaar didn't get there. It's not away yet by a long way. Grobbelaar got well to that one though. Bailey dinking it back in. Hansen missed it in the air. Dalglish, oh, a lovely turn. Rush away on the right, and what a ball from Dalglish to Rush. Lee coming up fast to support. Sammy Lee with a shot. He hit it against Kenny Dalglish. And in its way, Liverpool at their best, under a bit of pressure in their own 6-yard area, breaking away thanks to Kenny Dalglish and causing a threat at the other end. Sharp. Foul that time by Hansen on the Everton striker. A free kick to Everton. Andy King looking around to see what might be available to him, and Sheedy there too. And Trevor Steven, the number 6. Grobbelaar making sure that his positioning is right. It's a long way out to take a dip, but you never know. 3 men in the Liverpool wall. And Sheedy hitting it straight at Robillard, but it was a nasty old bounce just in front of the Liverpool keeper. Lee to Neil. Lee. Lawrenson. Hansen. Dalglish turning it on. Nicol coming in. Kept out of it well by young Harper. But Rush finding Dalglish. And Rush going on. Southall just got out. But Liverpool were very nearly in then, with a good combination once more between Rush and Dalglish. Ron Atkinson?
Yes, that's what we were saying earlier about this. You can't allow Dalglish any space at all, and I'm afraid Everton are giving him acres to play. And I bet he can't believe his own luck at the moment. The boy Stevens is trying to do a little bit of a containing job on him, but he's not within 10 yards of him half the game.
Over 10 minutes gone. If you've just come in, this Merseyside derby, Liverpool 0, Everton 0, in front of a packed house here at Anfield. Another free kick to Everton. Souness. Lee. Liverpool knowing if they win this afternoon, they go to the top of the First Division. Everton knowing that if they win, a lot of the wrongs so far this season will be put right.
Certainly at this stage, Brian, Everton don't appear to be overawed, do they? They've gone out to try and play positively, and they look as if they're holding their own at the moment.
Yes, they were shaking their heads with disbelief when they heard that they were 6-1 against. And it's little things like that that would have motivated, and I'm sure the headlines that made it to look an easy thing for Liverpool. I'm sure that manager Howard Kendall just had to remind them of those things and show them those headlines, and that probably did his work for him. Higgins up that time, but behind for the goal kick to Liverpool. Dalglish again trying to get it inside. Harper does so this time as Nicol makes a good break. Played in there. Southall did well. Can Rush get in there? 1-0 to Liverpool. Ian Rush, the man who just can't stop scoring goals, has got the vital first one in this derby game. That's the killing moment, Ron.
Nicol did very, very well up the left-hand side, forcing his way through here. Fires in across, but I'm sure Southall will be cursing himself there. He really ought to have dealt with it. And, of course, when anything drops loose in the penalty box at the moment, this fella just can't help but score.
"16 minutes, 46 seconds. Liverpool 1, Everton 0. Lee. And Liverpool's throw. Off Bailey, to be taken by Sammy Lee. Hansen. Towards Dalglish, but he'd gone into an offside position, and a free kick to Everton. With the cop chanting, "Are you watching Manchester?" Ron Atkinson?
Yeah, we're watching, all right. I tell you what, they've got an awkward situation now, Everton, of course. They've fallen down 1-0, possibly against the run of player field. But now Liverpool are the sort of side now that if Everton aren't careful, they can torture them. They'll pop the ball about all day, and it's very, very important that Everton sort of maintain their discipline and their belief, because if they don't, they could well be on the end of another hiding.
Harper with the throw for Everton. Irving. Liverpool, who've not conceded a goal in their last 5 games, are looking as formidable as ever at the back. Kennedy. Long-range shot, deflected, saved by Southall. Neil to Souness. Hansen. Dalglish. What a ball. What a beautiful ball there to Sammy Lee. Crossed in once more. At that time it's Robinson hoping to get on the end of it, but behind for the goal kick. Tremendous ball by Kenny Dalglish, Ron Atkinson.
Yes, I mean, every time he gets the ball, he's going to spot somebody in. And one of the other things that's been helping him is that the boy Nicol, who's playing on the left-hand side of the midfield, is making some strong runs behind the Everton defence, behind the Everton right full-back area. And he's actually forcing Irvine, who's probably an orthodox winger, to play as a defender.
It's good work again by Steve Nicol towards Michael Robinson. Played back towards Sammy Lee. But Everton get it away with Andy King. Lee dispossessing him. Souness supporting him. And the ball to Dalglish is a little too ambitious, and it'll be a goal kick.
No, I think what's happened here, I think that Everton have asked their fullbacks to play very narrow on their own centre-backs, maybe because they're frightened of the pace of Robinson and Rush, but they're leaving an awful lot of space in wide positions, and Liverpool are just able to send people up from deep positions going up wide. And that's really, they can set up as much play as they like then.
Ratcliffe taking the safe way out. Souness with the throw. Dalglish. Neil. Lee. Feeding again for Dalglish. Versus Hansen. Hansen's jump the better timed. Dalglish getting Rush to come after that, and rushing out was Neville Southall. Bailey turned in nicely. And maybe a chance for Andy King across the face of that Liverpool goal, and the first time that Everton have showed anything at all coming forward. Quite a good combination there as well, Ron.
There's some super build-up play there, and it's probably one of the first times that they've had people up in support of the front men.
And Neil. Robinson. And now possibly a break as Stephen takes it up for Everton. A lovely ball there, played for Sheedy. But the cross wasn't really what Everton wanted. Good play by Kennedy. And he gets Rush on his way once more. Out comes Southall once more. And the goalkeeper makes the clearance, and Liverpool get another throw. Sheedy. Harper. Higgins. Sheedy again. Former Liverpool player, of course. Andy King. Little touch through for Sharp, just onside. And surrounded by 5 Liverpool defenders. Free kick to Liverpool. Souness. Lawrenson. Finally the ball for Dalglish. All that play at the back. And then the pass that really mattered, but Harper's there, heading it down. He knew what he was doing to Neville Southall. Harper. Irvin. Harper. And now Sheedy. A long ball for Heath. He's got Bailey supporting him. Now, can Bailey or Heath do anything here? It's still with Heath. Going a long way, and out comes Grobler. For a moment, I thought he'd lost it, but he was behind for the goal kick. Harper. Dalglish. Nichols header, and now Harper. Playing time added on as Heath just tries to get there and get the touch. He was well shadowed again by Lawrenson. Here's the throw out for Phil Neal. And now Lee. Robinson. Well shadowed again by Higgins. Here's Sheedy. Little touch for King. Given away to Robinson. But stopped by Bailey. A free kick to Liverpool, or rather a throw to Liverpool. Lee. As the half-time whistle goes, and in this Merseyside derby, Liverpool going in at half-time, leading by Ian Rush's goal, scored after 16 minutes. And Everton, hardly in it, in fact, in the first half, dominated by the team in red. In a moment, we shall get the views of Jimmy Greaves and Ian St John with Jim Rosenthal. We leave you then with a half-time score here at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Everton 0. Well, it's Liverpool then who are going to start the second half, leading, as I say, by a 1-0, scored by Ian Rush, his 13th of the season. George Courtney just looking around to make sure that everything's in order, which it is, and Liverpool get us away at the start of the second half. Souness, 129th derby game. Liverpool with 45 wins, Everton with 44. And Rush just passed, and in fact that was an excellent save. It seemed to me, although the flag was up for an offside, but no disrespect there to Southall, that was a tremendous piece of keeping, it seemed to me. Yes, just getting the touch there, pushing it wide, but the flag was already up for an offside. Good reactions by the keeper though, Ron.
Tremendous save. Personally, I didn't think it was offside, Brian. I got the feeling that Rush went through as the ball was in flight, but there you are. Not a let-off, but certainly a narrow escape for Everton.
Sheedy. Straight to Neil. Oh, he's getting it on. That is offside against Sharp, though, as Grobbelaar comes out. Sheedy. King. And for Bailey. Now for Stephen. There's a bit more purpose at the moment about Everton. Trevor Stephen, a little touch now for Andy King. And in the end, Souness, looking hunted for just a moment, plays himself out of trouble. Dalglish, Lawrenson, safety with Grobbelaar. Phil Neal. Lee. Again, Everton win the ball at the back. Ratcliffe finding Harper, finding Irvin. Stephen again has made a break forward. Irvin this time finding Ratcliffe, just squeezing it through for Sheedy. And the long ball towards Andy King, but straight to Grobbelaar. Kennedy. Ratcliffe. Heath. Neil was strong with his challenge. Robinson was determined with his. And it's a bit more like a Merseyside derby at the moment, with a lot more commitment from both sides, and a free kick for Everton, conceded by Graham Souness. It's going to be Stephen or King with it. King, in fact. Now Sheedy. Touch wide here for Bailey. It's a better spell, this, for Everton. Liverpool leading by 1-0. Coming towards Sharp. Well caught by Grobbelaar. And a good throw out, beautifully placed for Kenny Dalglish, looking for his 100th league goal for Liverpool today. But now playing Sammy Lee in, played in once more, and Harper there that time, getting it away for the Liverpool corner.
You know, that's one of the problems when you attack Liverpool. Dalglish just hangs outside the centre circle and picks up the little rebounds, and then he attacks you on the break. Whilst attacking, you've also got to be very careful that you've got Dalglish taken care of.
Well, here's Dalglish. Souness. And again Souness. This time for Dalglish. He's got Rush waiting in the middle. Off the post. And it's in there by Robinson. Started by Neil. Souness now for Dalglish. Played in there, hammered against the post, and then put away by Robinson. Playing in his first Merseyside derby, gives Liverpool a 2-0 lead. Well, that makes it really difficult now for Everton, Ron Atkinson.
Yeah, you can't help but feel for them there, can you? They're just starting to get their game going, just starting to get something into it. Then really the old firm of Dalglish and Rush, because a lot of credit must go to Rush there, the way he got inside the Everton defender.
Dalglish again, and Rush again. But this time an Everton throw. Superb play again by Kenny Dalglish, and I know here at Anfield they honestly feel he's playing better than he's ever played. Robinson away. Ratcliffe closing. Dalglish. For Souness. Nicol. Still Nicol. Good tackle though by Harper. And some determined play that followed it as well. He kept his head well, but then in the end gave the ball back to Liverpool, and it's Dalglish to take it up again. There's the ball inside for Kennedy. Played in for Rush. Oh, what a miss. Of all people. Ron?
Well, I think that's one for the books, isn't it? That seeing Rush miss a situation like that. What a measured ball that is inside to Dalglish. That's a super ball across, and really, that's probably the easiest chance he'll miss all season.
Collector's item there. Again, in this process of taking the heat out of things, waiting for the right move and the right pass, finding Lee again. Forward for Neil. Back again for Sammy Lee. Hit long this time towards Ian Rush. Bailey is there. Liverpool's throw. And the crowd, in no uncertain terms, telling him to get off the pitch. And the Kop don't think it's very funny, let me tell you. And I imagine at home, neither do you. Souness. Ratcliffe. Irvine. Ratcliffe. Sharp still waiting patiently in the middle. And a throw to Everton. Something like 17 minutes left now. Away by Lawrenson, and here comes Sammy Lee. Robinson saying, put it through the middle for me, but Lee might go all the way. No, it's Rush who takes it up now. Robinson again waiting in the middle, and so too was Higgins for Everton. Heath. Hansen. Souness. Robinson trying a dummy. Sheedy playing it now, Sharp. How can he finish this one off? Oh, a little chip and a good effort! Beautifully pushed away by Grobbelaar. Well, a classy piece of play there by the Everton striker. Good skills as well. Having been put through like this, spotted Grobbelaar, was maybe 5 or 6 yards off his line. A long-range chip and Grobbelaar getting back to palm it away. Rush and Robinson the scorers. Dalglish. Robinson, goal kick.
I bet Graham Sharp must be a little bit envious of the service and the support that Robinson and Rush have had, though, mustn't he? Possibly if he switched sides, he might have had himself a couple of goals.
Irvine. Kennedy. Robinson's header. Played on for Sammy Lee. And again towards Robinson. Can Bailey get there first? No, but it comes off Higgins for the corner. So Lee with the corner for Liverpool. Nickel trying to head it on. And Souness. That came off Bailey's head. Lawrenson. It's Kennedy. Little space there for him too. Liverpool looking for goal number 3. Souness. Played inside for Nickel. Dalglish. Lee. Nickel back again for Neil, and Rush couldn't get to that one, but saved it from going behind for the goal kick. It'll be Everton's throw. Stevens clearance. Hansen. Souness. Dalglish. Lee. And Phil Neal getting to that byline, pulling it back. Dangerous play here. Rush is up there again, and Andy King gets it away. Not very far. Back it goes from Souness, just wide. Well, the Everton dugout there. Howard Kendall on the left, just leaning forward, the Everton manager. Defeat puts a little more pressure on him.
Brian, you know, seeing Liverpool at the very best, the thing they do better than anybody else, I think, that's killing a match off. They've had the ball, they're prepared to pass it around, keep possession, make the opposition chase the ball, and generally make things very unpleasant and wait for situations and wait for openings like this one to open up for themselves.
Dalglish finding Rush, and now Mark Lawrenson. Weston once more, and the header goes down, and it goes in from Steve Nicol, and that makes it 3. Well, you have to say, if anybody today deserves a goal, Steve Nicol for his work down the left-hand side, particularly in the first half, does. And now, as he moved into a central position, he's there to finish off. The cross from Mark Lawrenson, wide of Southall, 3-0. Ron?
Yes, just saying that's their strength. They don't throw the ball away. They play for an opening, and as soon as that opening's there, they'll throw the ball in. And as you so rightly said, the boy Nicol has deserved that for his afternoon's work. He's had a super game.
Higgins. Sheedy. 5 minutes left now, and Liverpool leading 3-0. Liverpool's throw. Well, there's no doubt, Ron Atkinson, that they will take top place in the First Division, away from Manchester United tonight, and showing that they are still probably as potent a force as anywhere in the country, I would have thought.
Yeah, I think anyone that's ever written them off, and people have tended to do so at their own peril. We certainly have never done that. We just hope their reign at the top's only temporary.
Well, here's Sammy Lee. Andy King. Robinson. Lee. Kennedy. Dalglish. Kennedy again. Stopped though at the last by Everton. Dalglish going in there, winning it again. Robinson playing it through for Kennedy. Robinson again. Tipped away onto the post and passed by Southall. Could so easily be number 4. It's a corner instead. Some really good play here. As Dalglish dives in there, a little touch there, it comes back for Robinson, flicked away, and a corner for Liverpool. Souness. And the game stopped again while somebody else comes onto the field of play. And the referee quite right. Kenny Dalglish there, just waiting for a fella to go into the hands of the police. And the game goes on. Again, that despairing long ball forward by Everton, but no support again for Graham Sharp. Andy King trying to get Sharp in again, but it deflected off a Liverpool defender, through quite comfortably once more to Grovelar. And really a minute or so left, plus whatever referee George Courtney adds on for injuries. Offside against Michael Robinson. Ratcliffe with the free kick for Everton. But it's really all up with them now. Sharp. Harper. And here comes Souness. 4 against 2 now for Liverpool. Souness playing it for Rush. Dalglish waiting in the middle. Playing it for Dalglish. Playing it back again for Nicol. Hit straight at the keeper. So here come Everton. 3-0 down. Trevor Stephen. Sheedy as the final whistle goes. And the 129th Merseyside derby won conclusively by Liverpool by 3-0. Their scorers being Rush in the first half, Robinson and Nicol in the second.
Higgins taking too long over his clearance, and Rush blocked it. And Rush can take it up again. Dalglish with Whelan to his left. And Johnston against the bar, and Rush was perhaps confused by Johnston. It's Whelan who shoots, and it's in. From Whelan. It looked as though Everton had escaped, but it was but a temporary reprieve. Against the bar by Johnston. Then Rush had a shot at it. It came out as far as Whelan. It took a deflection, but it's Whelan's goal. And he's proving to have a knack of scoring on important occasions. It's his 11th goal of the season. Richardson tussling, so too is Ratcliffe. And it breaks for Lee. And now Dalglish against Ross. Trying to jockey one of those positions that he's so good at, and Souness! Courtesy of Dalglish. Kenny Dalglish did all the spade work here. Everton just couldn't get a foot in. And it came for Souness. Southall was unsighted. Liverpool have regained the lead. We're 12 minutes into the second half. One sense is that Liverpool are quite happy to draw a breath or two and use up some of the 10 minutes that remain. If Everton have had more of the ball in this second half, certainly Liverpool have provided quality when they've got forward, as they do here with Johnston, who salutes the moment that may well have decided the destiny of this match. Rush involved. Johnston had a swing at it, and it looped up over the despairing Southall. It's Everton 1, Liverpool 3.
So fast and leads the charge. Rush to his left, onside, Ian Rush, 1-0 Liverpool, brilliant goal, marvellously made by Alan Hansen and put away by Ian Rush with the minimum fuss. Alan Hansen intercepting back in his own half, saw the chance to go forward. Superb play by the big defender. The ball laid into the path of Ian Rush, and as Southall came out, Rush put away his 9th goal of the season. 11 minutes gone. Everton 0, Liverpool 1. Rush. Deflection. Has taken it in. Ian Rush will claim the goal, his second of the match, but it certainly came off the defender. And Liverpool have gone 2-0 up from an apparently harmless position comparatively when he first picked up the ball. Seemed to me that the shot from Ian Rush might have come off Brian Burrows. He's got free, Dalglish, and put in by Lawrenson. What a simple goal, and Liverpool here have got Everton on the rack. Dalglish got free from the throw-in. That won't please Howard Kendall. The marker never went with him. He pulled the ball across the face of the goal, and Lawrenson came in at the far post to make it 3-0 after 55 minutes. Dalglish, look at that, rushes through. This could be history here for Ian Rush if he scores. He's at the post, he might score now, he has, And it's the first hat-trick in a Merseyside derby since 1935. In a league game anyway. 71 minutes, Rush has made it 4. He took Dalglish's pass. He hit the post the first time. He put the rebound in. And Bob Paisley, the manager, once told me, I remember last season, the last hat-trick in a league derby, scored by a fellow called Freddie Howe for Liverpool in September 1935 when he got 4 in a 6-0 win. King, who slipped. And this is where Liverpool have made the game look so easy. They've come out of defence, got into their stride, and seem to get an extra man through. It's Ian Rush. Can he score his 4th? It looks as though he has. Yes! 5-0. 4 for Rush, 5 for Liverpool, and an awful day for Everton. Sonny Lee led the charge from defence, the ball played through, and Rush, who's such a good finisher, went on to go round Southall and make this a day to remember for him in every sense. He'll surely get the match ball now. And listen to the crowd.
Benson. Dalglish. Again, trying to get it inside Harper. Does so this time as Nicol makes a good break. Played in there. Southall did well. Can Rush get in there? 1-0 to Liverpool. Ian Rush, the man who just can't stop scoring goals, has got the vital first one in this derby game. That's the killing moment. Ron?
Nicol did very, very well up the left-hand side, forcing his way through here. Fires in across, but I'm sure Southall will be cursing himself there. He really ought to have dealt with it. And of course, when anything drops loose in the penalty box at the moment, this fella just can't help but score. Taken care of.
Well, here's Dalglish. Souness. And again Souness. This time for Dalglish. He's got Rush waiting in the middle. Off the post. And it's in there by Robinson. Started by Neil. Souness now for Dalglish. Played in there, hammered against the post, and then put away by Robinson. Playing in his first Merseyside derby, gives Liverpool a 2-0 lead. Dalglish finding Rush, and now Mark Lawrenson. Missed him once more, and the header goes down, and it goes in from Steve Nicol, and that makes it 3. Well, you have to say, if anybody today deserves a goal, Steve Nicol, for his work down the left-hand side, particularly in the first half, does. And now, as he moved into a central position, he's there to finish off. The cross from Mark Lawrenson, wide of Southall, 3-0. Ron?
Yes, just saying that's their strength. They don't throw the ball away. They play for an opening, and as soon as that opening's there, they'll throw the ball in. And as you so rightly said, the boy Nicol has deserved after his afternoon's work. He's had a super game.
I really didn't fancy our chances much today, as a matter of fact, before the game. I don't know why. I just had this feeling, that we might, be under a bit of pressure. But it's just one of these games that we played and they didn't. And Rushy scores 4 goals, and he'll have a good night tonight anyway.
Anson in so fast and leads the charge. Rush to his left, onside, Ian Rush, 1-0 Liverpool, brilliant goal. Rush, deflection, has taken it in.
It's a great result for us, great for the players, great for the fans. Everyone involved with Liverpool Football Club will be delighted tonight.
Oh, he's got 3, Dalglish. And put in by Lawrenson.
Today I think it's the best day of my life so far, and including the league championship and that, it's always fantastic. That's a season, but on a day this, it stands out a lot to me, and I'll remember this for the rest of my life.
Rushes through. This could be history here for Ian Rush if he scores. He's hit the post. He might score now, and has. It's Ian Rush. Can he score his fourth? It looks as though he has. Yes. 5-0.
Michael, a lot of people, I think, courtesy of ITV, watching their first Merseyside derby. What was it like for you to play in one for the first time?
Well, it was fantastic. The atmosphere was marvellous. There was a great reception as the two teams came out, you know. It was marvellous. It's just a great spectacle, I think, and to take part in it was a privilege. It's smashing.
Were the Liverpool players surprised at Everton's tactics with virtually 5 in midfield in the first half?
I don't think we pay much attention to side's tactics. I think we try and get it right ourselves, pass the ball to one another and let them worry about us. I don't think we were concerned for a moment about Everton's tactics or how they might play. We were just, as I say, concentrating on ourselves and trying to get it right as Liverpool.
We were joking before the game about whether you might get a goal or not, and your great moment duly arrived. Tell us about it.
I can't remember it really. Phil Neal plays the ball in and I'm just a bit tired at the back post. Kenny managed to get the ball across and I stuck it in courtesy of the post. I was in the wrong position, I think, really, but anyway, it's gone in and I'm delighted with it.
How are you feeling settling in at Anfield?
Well, every game's a big game. It's something that's very new to me. Every game seems, well, this is the one, lads, we've got to win this one, and then the next week it's the same again and the same again. I don't know what day it is. I just come to train and, you know, hope I get selected and just play the game. It's all up in the air. Every game's a very big game for us, and I'm enjoying it. But as for settling in, I think it's presumptuous for me to say whether I'm settling in or not. That's for other people to judge, I think. But certainly I'm enjoying it.
Michael, thanks very much indeed.